All right, man. Sunday. We live? We live here?
Is this thing on?
There you go.
The ongoing series about the life of the people touched by the love of the Pacific. Here are their stories. This is Highway 54.
Yo! Happy Sunday, everybody.
What's happening?
What
Dude.
that was rough.
I know, right? You see that? You see that? We got the OG back in the house. One of my first guests on the show, Highway 54, with, DJ Casper from San Antonio, Texas, by way of West Covina. What's up, Casper?
What it is? What's going
Yep.
on, man?
Abby's
Hey,
back
buddy.
in the house, Florida. Kellen up there in Oregon, and Simon. Simon.
Who the fuck is Simon?
Simon.
I haven't even watched the show, but you were like, gave me hints.
Yeah. Hey, you really got me. I read Simon.
Lord Hastings.
How's everybody doing, man?
Man, it's
They're
good. It's, getting ready for another week, man. But this is the best way to start it off,
I know,
with the show and shit.
Valentine's is done.
You really got me. I read Simon.
Who's that? Oh, that's me. Hey, so really, what happened the past week, man? So Texas, thoughts out and prayers to Texas. We've got friends all over the place, West Texas, to San Antonio, Austin, and Dallas. They had the one of the big climate change where it snows in Texas, but not the amount of snow that they had this past week. A reminder of remember back in 2014 we had that Valentine's snow. That one weekend snowed up to the car. I mean, literally up to the car. And then the next weekend did the same thing. And even in Tokyo, we do have snow, but not like that. We weren't ready. But Texas, man, it's like more than half the state got this amount of snow they've never seen in their lives. And so I've got Casper here out of San Antonio telling us, what really happened in from day one, and then what's happening throughout the week, and what's happening now. So, what's going on, Casper?
Yeah, man, it was rough. So Tuesday night, they started about 490,000 homes didn't have power. By the time it got to like Thursday morning, that thing doubled. So do the math, 490 times 2, so that's about 490,000, right? And then a lot of the information was rotating between the news because it was a cluster, man, from the states to the Congress and all of that. all the blackouts and they're blaming the turbines that could generating power. But in reality, really just the thermal energy was the source of that offline. So it wasn't because of the generator who wasn't creating the power. But you got the natural gas plants that contribute to that as well. And you have um, the what do you call those? The power grids. So the
Yeah.
power grids went out. Um, it will come and go. So CPS had to step up a little bit and say, let's go ahead and conserve this. It took out certain spots of the city. Like I can only speak of San Antonio. In San Antonio, the first day of Monday, they took out about 9,000 houses.
Wow.
So that's 9,000 homes, man. Like when I say no power, mind you, this is the middle of getting colder and colder because as days went by. Because first it started out with the snow, so everybody was happy. Woohoo! This is the first time we seen this. But then come Tuesday, man, the temperatures started dropping like crazy. So that's when you had the massive shortfall of energy because the power grid, ERCOT, and all that. The ERCOT is like the Electric Reliability Council. So these are the guys that actually goes out there and inspect those power grids. So every day, one power grid will go off, right, and it will go offline. So the numbers keep adding up. So CPS will send out like a mass message, hey, conserve your energy. This is what y'all need to do, yada yada yada, just to help out because they just can't help the demand. Because like for example, if you was to turn on your heat, man, you cold, but heat rises, so everybody's upstairs, and they try to boil some water, but some people don't have water either because they froze the pipes. All the pipes were frozen.
Damn.
So a lot of the stuff, man, like half of San Antonio, because I try to go out there. I mean, luckily for me, I got a brand new house and I'm away from the city, so it never got affected by it. So I'm out here just, man, I feel bad. I couldn't even help my troops. You know what I'm saying? Like I still got like, I got people that I was checking on. We would do accountability every day, but the cutting the power to millions, it happened pretty much every day. So the power and being cold, and then the pipes are frozen, and then the COVID because the shelters were hit, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so we don't really have a lot of homeless people over here compared to big cities, but we have them. You know what I'm saying? Like under the bridges and stuff. So a lot of those guys were sent to shelters, but because of COVID, man, they just died right there. Like they
Oh,
got like
Jeez.
bodies all over, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I don't
oh
know
my goodness.
if y'all remember. I think the week prior to the snowstorm, the Fort Worth pileup, Fort Worth, Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, you remember that, right? So yeah, it started right there. That was I think that was the Sunday, and Monday we already knew he was gonna get hit because for some reason Fort Worth is like the higher mountain with the elevation. But that's what happened to the beginning of that weather. So by Thursday morning, 40 gigawatts of electricity were offline. So that tells you right there, man. That's damn near half of San Antonio. So if you're not part of that 1604 limit, then yeah, most of the supply that went offline was coal and natural gas, not the wind. Um,
Yeah, I mean, your leadership there, not all of them, them that were in the news, just wasn't prepared, wasn't thinking like what's going to happen. And of course, it wasn't like overnight, like, oh, this is going to happen. They knew something's going to happen one day, and all your infrastructure wasn't ready for this amount of weather and snow.
mhm.
And of course, we have windmills in Antarctica, Canada, you know, but they're weatherized, and so whatever. I mean, I read and I heard, decide to weatherize your windmill, and so it goes up obviously because it wasn't prepared for the weather. But that's only what 10% or 15% of your power, and so 1930, I believe, is when the power grids, most of the power grids in Texas, are privatized. And they're not connected to other states or by federal, so they don't follow federal guidelines,
Right.
except for like El Paso, the outskirts of Texas, all these other counties.
Mm-hmm.
So when things happen, they have emergency a shared power from other states, and that's the way it's supposed to work, right? And
Right.
so and the blame was put on other people except for the Texas leadership. Like you should have foresawn this, and this goes back. I don't want to be conspiracy theorists or just people not knowing about the climate. It's changing, and that it's
Right.
gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Now it happened, and like you said, everything happened all. I mean, we're in the middle of a pandemic too, so that amount of snow reminds me of 2014 Valentine's in Japan. We have snow, but it was a lot of snow. It was snow to like the top of the cars, on some places, and it happened twice, right? That one weekend, Valentine's, and the weekend after that, and we weren't ready. We had CE bulldozers fucking going down the ground and just fucking up the sidewalks and shit. Same thing with Texas. I mean, who has snow plows? Not that many, and they made mateships and all that. So,
Nah, we ain't got it. We waited
no,
till that thing melted, man.
yeah, and of
Finally, on
course,
Friday, they started pouring some snow salts out there, but that wasn't enough either. So,
and then black ice that's the usual thing in Texas. It happens all the time, and of course,
yeah.
the infrastructure for water. Water breaks. That's usual. That's nothing new, man. I live in San Angelo, and fucking water break, boil your water. What the fuck? Why am I gonna boil my water? So that's times two when water breaks because of freezing. So that's crazy, man. I mean, I know San Antonio's a little bit better off than all the other counties and all the other cities, but it's just insane that they weren't ready. And what was leadership doing? I mean, maybe they're doing stuff behind the scenes, but then we have one of your leaders, man. I hate to mention this motherfucker because I hate talking about that guy, but Cancun Ted,
Cancun Cruz.
Cancun Cruz.
A little Eddie Munster looking motherfucker.
So what has Texas thought about that when he got caught fucking hopping on a plane and shit, trying to sneak out to warmer weather?
To tell you the truth, man, as far as Texas, man, we were just so busy helping each other out. So they didn't really have a plan. Like, they didn't really have time to kind of, go online and do all that stuff. Mostly the other states got to see this and they're just watching us. You know what I mean? But for us, man, we were just, man, we were running around. We were going. So HEB is like a Safeway store here.
Yeah.
So for some reason, HEB is always on point, right? Like, they have contingency planning. I think they have like military background or something like that. Because they always come through, like emergency management. I don't know how they do it, man. Like, they always come through, man. The lines be long. They got everything occupied. They already know what they're gonna be missing. They already know what to stack up. So that's what we were doing, man. Like, everything else was closed, but HEB was open. Yeah. So we were more worried about people that's gonna die because I have troops, man. They had power for 3 days.
Oh yeah.
And they didn't have no water. So yeah, I had to tell them, like, go ahead and turn on the tub. Next time you feel something like this, you know what I mean? Just come through the house, because I was good. And there's some people out there who are fortunate enough to have it, but most of us, man, we were just so worried. Like, we didn't know what was happening. Like, we thought it was like it was done. It was crazy.
Well, about 2.5 million or something like that people were out of power, or power on, off, and no water. And so they didn't have time to look at. They didn't have social media or any internet looking at that. All they're worrying about is staying warm and
exactly
water to
we didn't have
wash
time to do that,
and eat. But the rest of the world fucking caught this guy. There's nothing illegal that he did, but unfortunately, he is a voted,
he's a public servant.
Public servant. It does not look good. So no matter what, it wasn't illegal what he did, but then he has a conscience. He got caught. I'm like, motherfucker, we all have phones. The people at the airport, they're gonna tell on you. They're like, they don't like you. No one likes you. So they'll be first one to like, well, we're trying to figure out who told his flight pack. Goes, everybody, the flight crew, everybody told on this motherfucker because they don't like him at all.
I mean, it's not.
Have you guys been to Cancun? Have you guys been to Cancun before?
I've been to Cabo. I haven't done Cancun. Been to Cabo.
Because so if you go to Cancun, you know exactly half of those cats are from Texas. So that was a stupid move anyway. So I was like, why the hell would you go down there with knowing damn well? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
it's not even an issue of legality, man. It's morality and ethical. It's an ethics thing. And what he did is just fucked up on so many levels. You know, it's like, it's not like if his kids really wanted to go there, that's fine and dandy. His wife could have taken them. They're not elected officials. They're not public servants. So his wife, she could take the kids or whatever. But it does look fucking terrible for him to be down there. And I don't care how many people want to try to justify that shit. Can you imagine? We can name any, you know, Democratic politician if they'd have done that or whatever. Andrew Cuomo in the middle, if Andrew Cuomo in the middle of the pandemic would have, you know, been going to Cancun or going to fucking Jamaica or some shit, they would have blown that shit up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They try to bring up the Green New Deal. You know, Joe Biden put into effect that hasn't even started yet. So it had nothing, like, I'm glad you hit on that, Casper, about how it had nothing to do with the fucking wind turbines and shit like that. Like, Texas infrastructure was fucked up already. And I don't know, Steve. What, Steve Bartlett?
Yeah.
I love that Cruz is completely backtrapped in his hopes that people won't hate him. Whoops, too late for the Zodiac Killer. We all know what a trash person he is. Facts. Facts, Steve.
Yeah, and then I'll show you this real briefly. Like, I'm not advertising, Ted. I'm just looking of just the hilarity of this guy just trying.
Oh no, we need to roast this bitch ass. Fuck that.
This motherfucker, right? And he gets a photo op of putting water in fucking his car, in someone's car, after AOC.
Is that his car?
Yeah, I don't know whose car.
That ain't his car. It's a fucking Honda. He ain't got no goddamn Honda.
And he's getting blasted again for a photo op. I'm like, oh my god.
With his fucking mullet.
Yeah, and because he saw that AOC raised up 3.5 million.
Yeah, almost $4 million.
AOC and Beto stepped up, man. Heavy, stepped up heavy, you know. And here we got this clown.
Yeah, so.
Who, by the way, will probably run for office in 2024. So that's okay. That's the reason why it's okay to still talk about him, because he's going to try to stay relevant.
Yeah, yeah. Well, he has another 4 years of his office. So I don't know who voted him. I don't know where he's from in Texas. Where is he from in Texas?
Doesn't matter. The whole state voted for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't just one area. He got voted by the whole state.
Yeah.
He could be from Katy, man. It don't even matter.
Right.
No, the point where guys were making is that, you know, when you're an elected official and your base or your state or your city is in dire need, I don't think it's a good idea.
You don't go on vacation.
Go on vacation, you know. Even though if it was always planned and I'm with my family, I get that, but you need to show that you're a leader. You're getting paid to solve problems of your state. Not to go on vacation when they really need you, you know. What could I have done? You could have done a lot of things, like you said. Beto did some stuff. AOC did, raise some money. Beto did some home contacts of the senior citizens. I mean, there's a lot of things you could have done, and he just doesn't get it. He
could have waited one more week.
Yeah. And then the weather is gonna be better, but still. You know how rural Texas is too. You think about those people who live in like those fucking farms and estates, in the middle of nowhere, man. So
what's crazy is though there's still people online who are defending him though. That's the weird thing to me. Like I feel like this should have been a thing where it should have been bipartisan and shit. Like everybody should have been like, no matter Republican, Democrat, if it was a Republican or a Democrat that did it, everybody should have been a little bit bothered by that. But there's still that strong constituency that's like, yeah, we're still riding for him. And what else was he going to do? This and that. I'm like, all right, bro. So we got double standards here.
Of course. He could have not gone on vacation. He could have just, like what you said, Floyd, he could have just sent his wife and his kids.
Yeah.
But to use his children. Can you imagine that? Oh, it was my kids' fault. They wanted to see blah, 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 blah. Whatever. That's such a cop-out. But what can you expect? I mean, what do you expect from him?
Yeah.
He was wearing Patagonia shirts too.
Public servant. His name is out there. You don't think people are going to fucking tattletale on him? Come on, get the fuck out of here, man.
And he's still not off the hook for his part of January 6th that occurred. You know what I'm saying? So that's the other part of it. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole lot of shit that Ted Cruz has done leading up to this. It wasn't like just one little mistake. He's made a series of mistakes, just in 2021, and we're only 2 months in. So fuck Ted Cruz.
Yeah, man.
Flying first class is dangerous, don't you know?
Well, yeah, Casper, let us know, man. If there's anything else being done that we need to, help out, whenever, is it monetary or GoFund? But I think, it's getting to the point where people are getting help now, and the weather is hopefully
Yeah,
getting. Is it
it's
getting
it's
warmer?
it's a
Yeah,
lot of help going on. So right now, there's a lot of groups out there. There's actually not just FEMA, not just emergency management, but there's a lot of groups out there. Like they cut down your bills, like AT&T's helping out a little bit, Spectrum's helping out a little bit. So a lot of these corporations, like I said, man, we so busy this week.
yeah,
It's crazy, man. Like it's good. This is happening, but it's
yeah,
almost kind of like reactive. You know what I'm saying? Like we should be doing
yeah,
like a deliberate planning on this kind of stuff.
yeah.
So
Mhm.
we kind of
So
hate
this
it.
is
So, but now it's good, man. Everybody get together. So yeah.
yeah. Well, this is good neo exercises, and
Yeah.
put it in the books, and fucking, like, okay, this is what we did. Okay, let's do a hot wash after this. Okay, what can we do better? All right, we need some money. Spend, fucking snow plows and shit. Get
Fucking
those
Neo.
windmills. Fucking, yeah, man. So hopefully,
I hated that word, man. I think everybody in Japan hated fucking Neos, man. Like those were the worst exercises ever. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. So if you guys know what neo is I forgot the acronym, but neo means
Non-combatant evacuate.
yeah. So evacuations,
Yeah.
emergency procedures when the calamities happens. In Japan, it was of course we have a active volcano, not active, but a volcano right next to us, which is Fuji. If stuff like that happens, or there's a war, same thing with Texas. Of course, like Louisiana, those are like hit by hurricanes. There's a neo emergency plan. What can you do when this happens, and execute. So Texas now has to wake up and say, well, we got a new calamity might be happening, so we got to prepare for that. So, well, we want just some thoughts and prayers. I know Susanna. I'm going to put her. She has no power at all, too, either at her home. She lives in West Texas or near Killeen. So, want to give up some prayers and blessings out to her, and make sure. Hopefully, she get
Prayers
her.
up.
Yeah, prayers up, Susanna. We miss you, and hopefully, we'll see you soon. But in the rest of Texas and our friends and family, we're here for you guys. Let us know if you need anything. I'll send you a box of ramen if you want. No,
everything's back open
yeah.
now, man.
I know, right? Yeah. Well, thank you, Casper, for letting us know that information. Again, if there's any new updates, let us know, and we can post it on our Facebook, especially in San Antonio. Yeah. All right, guys. So, we got Leslie. Leslie's been pretty busy since COVID, and since we've been advertising for her business and My Lucky Karma. She is our resident expert on crystals. So we'll do that. We'll have a Give Me Five. We've got some a special list for us Mariah Carey lovers, and then we've got that Poddex list. All right, hold on.
Hey guys, it's me, Leslie, bringing you the crystal of the week. This week's crystal is selenite, and selenite is mostly associated with our crown chakra, which represents wisdom and spirituality, but it also is represented by our third eye chakra, bringing in that purity and peace. Selenite is a high vibrational healing crystal that delivers clarity of the mind by cleansing our auras, getting rid of that negative energy buildup, both within our physical and our ether body. White selenite can also be very powerful for activating dormant abilities from past lives, clearing and activating our chakras, and not only that, but cleaning and activating our crystals and other items. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at My Lucky Karma, and swing by our Etsy shop. Keep spreading your love and light, and until next time, namaste.
All right. I feel like we need to do some TikToks too, man. Do I think we got a TikTok account for Highway 54? I've been addicted to TikTok lately. Like before I go to sleep, like, man, let me look at TikTok. No? Should we do a TikTok?
Nah.
I don't fuck with TikTok.
I just watch. But
Just watch?
Yeah, I just watch it. I just watch a lot of DIY. I do.
Yeah.
A lot of
Casper,
home decor.
Yeah, right. Casper, I know you do a lot of live streaming sometimes from the club. You do TikTok too, or what?
That's only if I'm drunk, man. You know, half the time. Half the time I don't even remember doing. Like I have to delete it the next day. I'm like, Jesus. I'm like,
Every Friday and Saturday, I'd be waiting.
Let me go delete. And Casey, you got to come through here, Casey.
Bro, I will definitely do that, man. I would definitely do that. I didn't know where you were at in the world, bro. Bro, I'm not even gonna lie. I thought you were still in Japan for a minute. I didn't know.
Nah,
I just knew wherever you had it popping. Yeah.
The same way I was in Travis, the same way I was in Germany, the same way I was in Korea, the same way I was in Japan, the same way it was here. So no matter where I go, man, I stay lit. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, DJ Casper is our resident, DJ for all parties, unit, weddings, whatever, man, clubs. So he be doing this thing all the time. Any city he goes to. So Filipinos, we do it right all the time. That's why, man, we versatile. All right, guys, we've got a top 10 list that I think we all kind of like. Carlo actually, or Simon actually liked this list here. So I know everybody likes Mariah Carey. So we have a top 10 number one Mariah Carey songs. Wrong one. Sorry. All right. Everybody likes Mariah Carey at one time, especially for those who grew up in the late 80s, 90s, 2000s. So she hasn't been very active lately. I mean, she does a lot of her songs, but not any new songs lately in the past couple of years. So top 10 number one Mariah Carey song. All right, let's go. So at number, am I allowed to play a little bit of the song? You guys want to hear a little bit?
You can't play more than 30 seconds, right?
I thought Casey was going to sing.
I'm not able to hear it, man.
Casper can sing it. Casper's really good at it. All right.
No, I'm not going to be able to hear
it. Number 10, Touch My Body.
Touch my body. I didn't really like that one.
That's number 10?
That's number 10.
But that was her comeback album, right?
Yeah, it was 2008. E equals MC
Who ranked
squared.
these?
This is from Live 365. I don't know. People voted on it. All right, number 9, which, man, you would think that this song would be number 1 because this is my first song that came out on her first album. We're like, holy shit, who is this girl?
Oh, yeah. Her first album was
awesome. I'm going to play it. Okay, ready? Remember this?
Can't hear it.
What is it? What is it? What is it?
That's Vision of Love. Yeah, that's a
nice
song. That's a banger.
That's a good record.
It was, man. It's number 9.
I'm not giving it number 1 though.
What? No,
Not number
I wouldn't
1?
give that.
It should be in top 5, not number 1.
No,
Not number 1.
That's not even number 5, man. That was a good song.
That's a good one, but it ain't. Yeah.
Maybe because
Mariah got bangers, yo.
I really grew up that song. Like that's the first introduction. All right, number 8 from the Music Box, 1993, year I graduated high school. Hero.
And when a hero comes along, with the voice again.
Very emotional.
Yeah, very emo.
Yeah. Oh, that's number 8.
Floyd walked across stage with that shit, tears streaming down his fucking eyes.
No, Vision of Love was the one.
That's a karaoke classic right there.
I think that was part of the Bodyguard, right? Bodyguard.
No, Bodyguard was Whitney Houston.
It was Whitney Houston, not Mariah Carey.
Yep. That is
No.
not Mariah.
I'm talking about the soundtrack. Is it
No, I don't think so. No.
This is 93.
No, the whole soundtrack was Whitney.
It was in a movie though, for sure.
Yeah. No, it's off her Music Box album, so I don't think it was part of the movie. All right, number 7 from her Daydream album, 1995, with Boyz II Men. You guys know that song?
Oh yeah.
One Sweet Day.
One Sweet Day. Let's go.
Oh
Great
man,
song.
I got memories in this shit.
Man, that music video was dope too.
Yeah. That would be almost my number 1. One Sweet Day.
So this was my shutdown song in high school.
Was it?
When they used to do Backyard Boogie? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Carol Boogeyman needs to be my shutdown song. All right, everybody got to go because we still had
Right.
credits and shit. Right. Like,
One
everybody got to
Sweet
go.
Day,
Play this one song.
number 7. I don't even know about this song. Number 6 from the Emancipation of Mimi 2005. Don't Forget About Us. I don't even know about this
Yes,
song.
that's when she made her comeback, bro. That whole album was popping.
That would be number 6.
Right,
I don't know.
You ain't even into it, the meat of it yet.
Okay. Yeah.
No, that's a
Well, it's not one of those bangers that I always listen to. All right, number 5. Off of Music Box also, 1993. We've got what? Let me hear it. That song? Dream Lover? Oh, yeah.
Hey.
Dream Lover. That one.
Man, I still watch that. I still watch those music videos of Mariah. It's number 1 on my list.
Man. Yeah,
and then he promptly meditates.
That was
in the mirror. In the mirror.
That was Honey. That pool scene got me.
Number 5.
I was like 13 at that time.
Oh my God, you guys are big.
All right. We're talking about the top 10 number 1 Mariah Carey songs of all time. We got number 4 from Daydream also, 1995. Here. See if you can remember the song. Fantasies. Right, Steve? You got it, Steve.
Oh, Steve's on it. Hey,
that song right there, boy.
This song always reminds me. It reminds me of what was her name on Rush Hour when she just breaks out the little girl.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
What they call her? Was it Ling Ling? What was her name?
Ling Ling.
Ling Ling. And then when she came out Rush Hour 2, she grew up, boy.
Yeah.
All right. Grown now.
Number 3, also from Daydream, which had a lot of number 1s there, 1995. Here's the song right here. See if you can remember the song.
Oh, yeah.
Always Be My Baby. Daydream, 1995. Right, Carrie was.
It's part of that mixtape you gave to the girl.
I know, right? You put all those songs there.
Gotta put some Mariah on it.
Top 10, number 1 Mariah Carey song. We're here at number 2 actually. So from the Emancipation of Mimi, 2005. Let's hear if you know the song.
Right.
You already know. Right?
Yeah.
We Belong Together. All right. So let's go back before I say number 1. So we had, what was it? Number 10 was Touch My Body. Number 9 was Vision of Love, which I thought would be number 1. Hero. Number 8, One Sweet Day, Boys to Men. Don't Forget About Us. Number 5, Dream Lover. Number 4, Fantasy. And number 3, Always Be My Baby. And number 2, We Belong Together. And then here's some other songs that we would like. I Don't Want to Cry, Mariah Carey, 1990. Love Takes Time, off her first album also.
That was a good one.
Someday, I'll Be There with featuring Trey Lorenz off the MTV Unplugged. All I Want for Christmas, Honey, My
That should be
All.
number 1.
Right. I'm surprised that one was not.
That should be number 1.
Yeah.
That's like the most played song in fucking history.
Yes.
So what would be the number 1 song according to this list? Of course, I think it's Vision of Love. All right. From the Emotions album, 1991. No?
That's a good record, but it ain't number 1.
Number 1, but
that's not a number 1.
Probably top 5.
Emotion?
Yeah, Emotions.
Probably top 5.
Top 5?
Yeah, I wouldn't.
What would you guys?
It has the same.
I thought it would be like
Heartbreaker
what you guys said.
Yeah.
I thought it would be the Santa. The All I Want for Christmas is You. I thought that would be number one.
That's probably the most played.
Most played, probably.
Yeah, but not a lot of people probably voted to like it.
All right, so what would you put as number one on your list?
That'll be it.
I'll be there.
All I want for Christmas, all I want for Christmas.
All I want for Christmas is you would be number one on the list.
That'd be number one. Cause everything else, if you notice about Mariah, man, a lot of her stuff is like 90 beats per minute.
Yeah,
Honey, you know, like
the DJ.
It's all the same. It's all the same tune, man. Like it's like if you're making a mixtape, and Simon could probably attest to this, but it's a lot of the stuff that you listen to is like you already know. Like, you got the boom bap type R&B joint. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what Mariah is known for. Now when she goes off like, you know, like All I Want for Christmas, then that's a whole different story because that's her singing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. All right, so that was a Mariah Carey, a pretty good list, but you know, it's debatable on which one can be number one and number two. For me, the first album, Vision of Love, was the first song that I really fell in love with. So to me, that's my number one. All the songs that we played here was pretty good. All right, so you know, again, a lot of us here are DJs except for Abby, but you know, she's DJ honoree. But you know, the '90s we grew up with, and I love every genre of music, but I have a space in place for alternative music. So we're going to talk about where is it again? Sorry.
Hey, I want to make one small correction though. I was not a DJ. I was a radio personality. I don't want to ever pretend that I like had that level of expertise that you guys had with the DJ. I know good music, and I don't, you know, but I didn't ever mix and match the way the shit y'all do. I couldn't do. So shout out to you guys.
Here's our recommendation. Not totally all our recommendations, but you know, this could be on your playlist for '90s playlist. All right, so we'll do top 10 here. So number 10. Let me see. I'm gonna play the song. See if you know the song. See how well you know. You know that?
Janet Jackson.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
No Rain. Blind Melon.
Yeah.
Blind Melon. No Rain.
Yeah, No Rain. All right, number 10. All right, here you go. This probably the pinnacle of a '90s group, a duo. Number 9. Oh, sorry. Kiss Me.
Oh, yeah.
Kiss Me. What was it? Second Chance. What's the name of the fucking?
Sixpence None the Richer.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. There you go. Okay, Steve knows. Shit.
All right, number 8. This is tethering between the early '90s and late '80s. Number 8. I guess this is alternative, but they put down "Jump Around."
Really?
Oh.
Yeah.
House of Pain.
House of Pain. Yeah, House of Pain would be number 8.
Well, I guess because you can kind of say that it has a little solo guitar in there somewhere.
Yeah.
So,
all right, so number 7, we've got "Runaway Train."
Runaway Train. Runaway train, never coming back. Oh yeah.
Runaway Train.
Like a solo song?
That's who sings "Runaway Train"?
Steve, who sings "Runaway Train"? Steve Bartlett definitely knows who sings "Runaway Train." I don't know. I just realized I just know those words. I don't know what the fuck else. Soul Asylum. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Definitely. All right, this one you're already gonna know. Number 6.
Let's go.
Four Non-Blondes.
Four Non-Blondes.
I say.
What's the name of that song?
What's up?
What's up?
What's going on?
What's going on? No, it's called "What's Up." Number 5. Oh, I use this song all the time when I'm closing out the E Club or O Club. This song right here is my closer.
Closing.
Right.
You know that's it.
Semisonic. Closing time. That's my closer. During the club, E Club, O Club. or even like unit parties, I'd use that one. Everybody kind of knows, start trickling.
Kick everybody
No,
out.
that's when you start looking around. You're like, all right, who's coming?
Who's coming?
That's when you see Big Jones. Hey, get the fuck out.
Yeah, Big Jones.
Big Jones gonna come out. Hey, get the hell out of here.
Number 4, Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's my joint.
Number 3. Okay, we're talking about music for your 90s playlist. This, I'm going to play it because you should know this.
Let's hold the line.
Sorry.
Let's look out for each other. We are so
That's not it.
soon we will be what we were.
Is that YouTube ads?
Let's finish strong.
You ain't got that premium account.
Sound good over there, man?
Natalie
shit.
Imbruglia.
Torn.
Yeah.
Torn. Yeah, that's number 3 right there. Torn.
Man.
All right. This, corny as the song is, it was pretty, pretty out there, and it all played everywhere in radio and MTV. Number 2. It came on number 2. So.
Let's
Oh
hold
my
the
God!
line.
Come on, man. It's not YouTube. That's why it's off the list.
Go to the middle of it.
It's coming right now.
I want to hear the good parts.
You don't got the premium.
When I wake up,
Oh yeah.
I know I'm gonna be the man,
The Proclaimers.
and I would walk.
Be 500 miles.
That's like a good
All right.
road trip song.
Oh yeah.
So we guessing number 1.
Guessing number 1. Okay, let's go to some honorable mentions here. Baby Got Back.
Alternative?
A lot. Yeah, man.
Is this just for
Chubbawamba? Thumping. Meredith Brooks, Bitch.
I heard
Sex and Candy.
I smell Marcy's Playground? That was a good one.
Playground. Save Tonight. Save Tonight.
Oh man, I couldn't stand that song.
You like that song?
Man, I didn't.
You radicals?
Yeah. What is love? What is love? Don't hurt
Baby,
me.
don't hurt me.
Len, Steal My Sunshine. Steal My Sunshine. That song?
Oh, that's
Oh,
a morning.
shit.
That's a good morning song, right?
Yeah. The Vinyls, I Touch Myself.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's a
One
banger.
Headlight. One Headlight.
One headlight. Yeah, that was good too.
Yep. And
I don't know that
you get what you give.
I don't know. What's
Oh
that
yeah,
one?
yeah.
Sing it.
Yeah.
Sing it, somebody.
New radicals, right?
New Radicals.
Yeah.
All right. Number 1 of the musics for your 90s playlist.
And there's no specific genre to this. I thought it's not alternative. It's just whatever.
I think it was all whatever, man.
Oh shit.
I thought it was alternative. I guess.
Then they're missing some shit.
Yeah. All right. Here you go.
Very Radiohead creep.
Yeah, Fugees. Oh yeah.
Iconic. Using the movie. Remember what's the name? Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yeah.
Cruel Intentions.
Cool Intentions. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Verb. Bittersweet Symphony. Anyways, I don't play all of it.
I don't know who the fuck came out with that list because there was some good ass music in the 90s. They
Yeah,
missed some
right.
shit.
The Verb
Yeah.
didn't get paid for that track, right? I think they had some issues.
Yeah, it was a sample, right? It wasn't a sample.
The sample.
Yeah. So debatable. I know we have all different kinds of playlists on 90s. I thought it was all alternative. I guess it was mixed in with some hip hop in there too. But I don't know. Bittersweet. Well, maybe because Bittersweet and was part of that.
Surprised Michelle Branch wasn't there.
Oh yeah, Michelle Branch in here. No. Stays in there. Lisa Loeb.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of
That's a good song.
More Than Words. Extreme. Oh yeah. Well, there it is. The Sign. Ace of Base.
there was like
Cruising
a lot
Hard.
of one-hit
Ace of
wonders.
Base did not get
Yeah.
on that list. Wow.
The Sign. Ace of Base, Groove in the Heart, Delight, Mambo number 5, Kryptonite. This is how we do it.
Didn't Nirvana come out in the 90s? Yeah,
Yep.
Nirvana came out.
Foo
EMF came
Fighters.
Yeah.
Smells like Teen
Pearl
Spirit.
Jam.
Spirit should have been on there.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, I guess more
Yep,
people,
should've been in there.
9,000 people voted on Bittersweet Symphony as number 1. So,
How many people?
9,000.
9,000.
No Mandy Moore in there.
That's 90s pop. Yeah. All right, guys. That was it for our list. So we have the Give Me 5 ready. Are you ready, Kellen?
Let's get it.
All right.
All right, so this week's Gimme 5, it actually just popped up for me earlier today. I try not to do this too often, but like, you know, when you go into the comments on something, right? Like I was reading this ESPN, they had made a stance or took a stance for the hate crimes that have been occurring in our country against Asian Americans and just Asians in particular. And they said, you know, they stand with the Asian community, put that nice corporate message out there, right? And I think this is something obviously we touched on last week a little bit as well, but I was happy to see ESPN do that, make that message. The mistake I made though was getting in the comments and you start reading in there and people were legitimately saying, you know, this is just more this is because of the Biden administration taking over, this is the US bowing down to China. All right. And then there was a lot of this, like people were legitimately believing this, that because people are standing up against racism against Asian Americans, that somehow this is the United States government bowing down to China because Joe Biden is in office. So I thought that was a very weird thing. And it literally took me to a place where I was like, you know what? When we live in a place where where people will try to justify racism and make it political, we got to fix that, you know, and it goes beyond just like making posts and saying, hey, I stand up for Asian Americans or I stand up for Black Lives Matter or whatever. You know, it goes well beyond that. And these conversations, they start at home. And I know this is something we've harped on for the last year with Black lives, but obviously seeing what's going on with the Asian community as well in our country, it's something that just needs to be highlighted. And we have to start rooting out this bigotry. And I don't know. I don't have the solution because as a person who is not racist and you do stand for all people of color, it's very difficult to know what exactly needs to be said or done. But I know for my white friends, again, reaching out to you guys, make sure you're having these conversations because it's very important, man. I mean, people's lives are being impacted every day. And then, you know, if you see some of these videos of some of these attacks that have occurred, it's horrific, you know, and the fact that anybody could literally call themselves like a good citizen or a good American or a good Christian, and they somehow can justify that because they think it's all politics. I mean, that's bullshit, man. Straight up. And you know, again, with these corporations, it's cool to see a corporation like ESPN stand up and make a stance and say these things, but hopefully there's action being followed up with this, and hopefully there's some real hard and serious talks still occurring, because we're not going to root this stuff out in just one day. It's not going to just, you know, we have one conversation after the George Floyd incident or murder, I should say, and then everything's just going to magically be wonderful. No, this has to continue, and it has to be, you know, this is a multifaceted conversation, and we have to all be all in on this. So, you know, it's okay you can say Black Lives Matter and you can stand up for your Asian community and you can stand up for the LGBTQ community. You can do all that all at the same time. Just because you're yelling one at that particular time doesn't mean you don't support the others, and vice versa. And then also just letting white people know this is not an attack on you. It's an attack on bigotry. It's an attack on racism. It's not whites versus blacks or Asians versus whites or, you know, whatever, Hispanics versus whoever. No, it's literally, it's American citizens or just humans, good humans against racist piece of shit humans, period. And I know some people don't think it's that cut and dry, but it truly is. So if you are a person that can literally get online and justify brutality against another citizen, then, you know, you might be a piece of shit. So you might need to take a look in the mirror. And I say that with all disrespect. And that's not to say, I guess just to leave this on a semi-positive message is the simple fact of just because you call people out on their shit doesn't make you negative. It doesn't make you a pessimist. It doesn't make you pissed off at the world. You know, there's a lot of people who daily we call people out on their shit, and you can still go on and be a happy human being. But it is necessary to call people out on their shit. So if you're a person that just wants to ignore all of this and be like, oh, I just want to be happy, happy, joy, joy, and you have the privilege of doing that, good on you. But there's some people that are going to stay in the fight and continue to enjoy life and be happy human beings, but also call people out on bullshit that needs to be corrected. So that's today's Give Me 5, man. Keeping it simple.
Yes, sir.
You know, I'm glad you talked about that stuff. You know, and like it's picking up, and then more people are being recognized, more aware of what's happening with the Asian community. I think it's always been happening, but now that it's more impactful because it's happening on an alarming rate. Well, of course, it's been happening more often because of COVID. It's the ignorance, and it's not just a black or white thing or Hispanic thing. It's an Asian thing. It's just people being ignorant or being angry of their city, their town, and taking out on an innocent bystander walking by, who, you know, of course, they're not going to pick some gangster Asian or big ass Asian to pick
Right.
on. They're going to pick on the most fragile person to get out their angst
On a freaking walker too.
Yeah. So my question is, why? Why are you
Nothing has
angry?
changed.
Why are you angry?
Nothing
Why are
has
you
changed.
angry?
This has been happening. Nothing has changed on this as far as the racism and stuff. The same thing
Yeah.
with the African American community. You know, it's the only reason why we are highlighting this now is because we got social media, we got the internet, we got all of that stuff now. It's been going on. Nothing has changed. You know what I'm saying? There's always going to be racist people out there. So the only reason why we talking about it right now, because now we have this platform.
Right.
Now we have
Yep.
people catch it in the news. Nothing has changed over the years for hundreds of oppression. All of that stuff is still happening today. But the only difference is now we can actually catch them on video. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Social media changed
So
it all.
that's the only difference. I mean, nothing has changed.
Yeah, and that's conversation. You're exactly right, Casper. And it's conversations just like when I was 16 years old, like my parents having a conversation with me to how to act whenever I got pulled over, right? This was well before you know, Ahmaud Arbery or George Floyd or even Tamir Rice or Trayvon Martin. This is well before all that shit. Because guess what? Black people knew, just like Asian people, y'all know what occurs and what goes on in your community, right? You've at least, if you didn't experience it, you've at least heard the stories. And it's the same in our community. Obviously, we've been knowing. It's once like white America gets to see it, that's when it's like, oh shit, you know. And it seems eye-opening. It's kind of like conversation I have with friends all the time. They're like, my white friends would be like, man, I've never felt so much, division in the country. And I'm like, you know what's funny is, as a person of color, the division, we've always felt it. It's been a little more subtle in the past, but in some regards, but we've always felt it. It's just now white people are actually feeling it and they're seeing it. And these conversations are happening at their house. And the uncle that normally only says racist shit when he's drunk is now okay with saying it outwardly because we had an administration in the past that were openly supportive of that type of language and of that type of behavior, man. So it's an interesting perspective, but I'm glad that this shit is being videotaped. As much as I hate that it's happening, I'm glad people are catching this shit and getting it on video so people can see. Hopefully what it doesn't do, though, is desensitize people, because that's what I feel like happens with the black community. We've seen how many people, we can all name off a number of black people that have been murdered on video, right? It gets to a point now where for a lot of people, it's just like, oh, it's just another death. George Floyd's is different because there was a 9 minutes and 46 seconds watching him from, you know, him hollering and you know, can't breathe to the point of expiration. It was a little different than some of these other videos. But man, again, I don't understand why this shit didn't pop off whenever Tamir Rice was murdered. You know, he was a fucking kid, you know, but I don't know. I don't know what it's going to take, man. But these conversations, they're not going anywhere. So for the people that get uncomfortable about it or get anxious and don't want to have that conversation, well, you better get comfortable being uncomfortable, because it's going to have to happen, because it's the only way change is going to come about, or any type of progress whatsoever. So,
yeah. And you know what I do get like annoyed about is when people say, stop talking about it. No, bro, you gotta talk about it. It's
Right.
got to be before. It's not talked enough about it, you know. And what hurts me the most is when kids are being taught this from their elders or their family. You know, like they don't learn that by themselves. They learn those stuff by their surroundings and what they hear in their private home. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad this happened the past 4 years. As much as I don't want it to happen, because it brings out that that's already existed, and you can see it, you can hear it, and understand that racism is still alive and well. Not just here in the United States; it's everywhere in the world. But we're only speaking for our country, you know, and it's still we still have a long ways. Yes, we're better from the 40s and the 50s and 60s, but still we still have it around and lingering, and it still affects people that to the point where we're still talking about it and we're still using social media, and there's a lot of stuff going around being people taping these actions. So it hurts me. It hurts me. Like I said, there's a lot of things that need to be fixed, not just one thing, to help racism to almost disappear. You know.
Listen, the same people that want to tell you, why are we talking about this? Let's drop it. Let's move on, blah, blah, blah. Those are the same people that will wonder why after 20 or 30 years their wife wants to leave them, or why their kids are all fucked up and don't have a relationship with them or feel unloved, because they've literally gone their entire life just sweeping shit under the rug. You know what I'm saying? And just moving on from shit instead of having the hard conversations. So those hard conversations, that needs to happen in every capacity, in every aspect of life. It can't just be racism is one that's going to be there. Relationships, I see it so often. People don't want to have these conversations with people. They'd rather just sweep it under the rug, and they wonder why in the future more problems come about. It's the same thing with racism. We can continue sweeping it under the rug, and maybe shit will get quiet and get cool for a little bit. But guess what? 5, 6, 7, however long, months, years, whatever, something big will happen, because guess what? We quit talking about it. We just ignored it instead of handling the issue at hand, So, if you end up in a fucking fucked up, loveless relationship, it's probably because you were sweeping shit under the rug.
Yeah. I mean, one thing I know about Casper is one of those guys who is, he gets along with a lot of people, and because of who he is and what he does in entertainment, DJ, he's one of those guys who can break those barriers between, oh, you're black, I'm Filipino, I'm Asian, you're Latino, whatever. But they have a lot of respect for each other. Once you get to know somebody, then you have a lot of respect for each other. So when people say, I'm colorblind. No, bro, I don't want you to be colorblind. I want you to know that I am Asian, I am Filipino, that I like making lumpia, whatever. I want you to understand, because I need you to know if I have a challenge that you understand where I'm coming from. And Kellen too, he's a black young modern male. I want you to understand his story, why he would be mad, why he would be angry. Because if you don't know our story, where we're from, where our family's from, then you won't understand why one day we would be so angry at certain things with administration or with people when people say stuff, you know what I'm saying, or why Ted Cruz went to Cancun, you would understand why we would be angry. So don't be colorblind. Understand where we're from, how we grew up. Here you can see I always have the diversity in our podcast because I want everybody's different views. And then we had Phil last week, and he had a different perspective, but he was, not say woke, but he learned and he grew, and Kellen kind of recognized that with him, where he's now very vocal and understanding of every side. So do you get that there, Casper? I mean, you're probably one of the only, besides me and other Asian DJs in a pool of like a lot of DJs who are either black or Latino.
Yeah, that's come from the streets, though, man. You know what I'm saying? My hustle is always out there because I treat everybody with, as a business partner. You know what I mean? Like whenever me and Casey actually did some work together, same thing. I didn't know him with a grain of salt.
Right.
But he respected me. We kind of looked eye to eye. You know what I'm saying? Like he knew exactly what I was about. But like I said before, man, one thing I learned about in the military and in this back home as a civilian was two reasons why people don't do what they're supposed to do. They don't know how. They don't want to. And they're not gonna know. They're not gonna want to. They don't know how, and they don't. They don't know how because they don't want to. So it is vice versa, man. You teach them, they'll learn and educate. And like I said, this whole social media thing, it's actually a good thing now that it's being highlighted, but it's one way to educate folks. It's like if you watch a Nick Cannon show Wild 'N Out, man, I kind of love it, man. That the way it's being brought to, you know, what I'm saying it's a good snapshot of what's going on here in America. You know, what I'm saying like we can do that, you know, off laughter and comedy and stuff like that. You know, you got Weiss in there, you got fucking Timothy Delgado, like all of them cast is older. It's a good melting pot, man. You know what I mean? They even had a Arabian guy in there, so
Yeah,
Nick Cannon is good for that. You know what I'm saying? So you
that is
gotta look at it that way,
actually
man.
that's an excellent point, man. And you know, I've always liked Wild 'N Out, and it's like it was like a guilty pleasure, man. It was one of the things like because you know we grew up, man. Like Nick Cannon was kind of corny, right?
Ain't nobody watch that dude, man.
Ain't nobody fucking. You're right, and he always had like
start bringing the Wild 'N Out girls.
But man, I mean, he did, and you make a good point with that, talking about the just the diversity on that show. As they'd have like the little nerdy white dude, or they'd have the hip white dude, and they'd have a white girl, and every other nationality, you know what I'm saying, Asian, black, whatever, and they come together and they clown each other, and they talk about the stereotypes and the differences, but they talk about it in a healthy manner, in a healthy capacity, and anybody could watch that show and kind of relate. It was absolutely.
Yeah.
Educational, man.
I mean, and that's what most shows should be about. As we're getting better now, as you can see, see Marvel is doing different takes. You know, you have Black Panther, we have Miss Marvel coming out, and the girl there is Pakistani. We have a new Asian Shang Lu or Shang Lai. Shang-Chi, yeah, is another Marvel, which is more of an Asian, and so diversity is coming through Hollywood. It's getting better. It's not there yet, as you can see the Oscars. You know, of course, last year I think the winner of the Oscars Best Picture was Korean, right? Was Parasite, which was a weird movie, but it was an interesting movie. So diversity is there, but sometimes in Hollywood it feels forced. And the only organization I think that is really stepping out is Star Wars, and of course Marvel really being the forefront. And now Disney is catching up also. Yeah, Disney is doing a lot of movies that are very specific to Asian casting or specific casting to the correct characters. So um, it's getting better, but we still have a lot to learn. Stuff that we're seeing now, right, guys? And you guys all agree. It's Casper said it's always been around there. It's just being taped right now. So everybody has a camera and showing all that. So
If there's a movie that you guys want to watch as far as educational, man, it's not a new movie. But I just showed it to my kids a couple months ago. There's a movie called spelled THUG, Hate You Give. Watch that movie, man. It will put a lot of things into perspective, man. The Hate You Give.
Was it again?
The Hate You Give.
The Hate You Give. That movie is about a black family. Yeah, it's also yes, but yeah, it shows you a lot on what these guys go through on the day to day, man. You know what I'm saying? And just kind of like surviving America, because it's really tough for them to just wake up and just be like. I mean, for us, we have a different type of racism. For the Asian community, man, it's more like because all of us are immigrants. You know what I'm saying? These guys are actually forced over here, but then Louisiana part is more like the French back in the days are more lax on the slavery, so they got to form more of the African culture over there. You know what I'm saying? Louisiana. So they're the most African culture in the United States. But that movie will put a lot of things in perspective, man. Especially your kids, man. If I told my kids, like, man, we get pulled over, we get treated a different way. But these guys get pulled over, it's different, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, they really got to go through it. And I was telling my Kane, I tell my son, he was like, it's fine that you listen to those to the rap music, but understand the rap music has changes its generation, it's changing its culture, but it's still all the same thing. Boils down to jazz. You know what I'm saying? All the way from way back in the day. But I better not hear you say an N-word, because that's derogatory for all their ancestors, and you have no right at all to use that word. You can listen to it, But same thing. If it starts talking about hoes and tricks and stuff like that, I need you to change that. Enjoy the music, enjoy the culture, but understand and be educated enough to know what the difference is between good and bad. And he was like, yes, sir. But I'm not gonna lie, some of these songs, I was like, man, I gotta play this in the club. Especially that bitch, go back. You know what I'm saying? Like, but there's a lot of that's a lot of roots between that. You know what I'm saying? Like, where it came from, the origin. So, education, man, that's the main thing I was saying. As far as like my kids, I make sure I educate them enough because they're not from the streets. They're a military brat. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in the streets, so I know how to act. You know what I mean? Especially when you get pulled over, you just put your hand on the dashboard and stuff like that. I gotta show them those things. You know what I mean? Because we're not privileged like that. We can't cuss out a police officer or everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just one of those things. So the hate you give, man. Check it out.
That's a good one.
Yeah, check that out. Yeah, man. It feels tiring. I understand everybody's dilemma of like, oh, why are you guys always talking about it? But you gotta understand, where we come from, where we live, how our friends don't get that privilege of of having to assume that they're there just sitting in the park, like they're sitting in the car, they're just sitting there, like it's a free country, you can do that, but you're always a suspect depending on how you look and the color of your skin. For us Asians, it's not always like that, but there are times, we get our fair share of being assuming, or you're Chinese or you're Korean, or obviously the topic we're talking about is you brought the Chinese virus. Go, motherfucker,
I just tell them we all look alike. That's all I tell them. I just tell them we all look alike, and they just laugh.
Yeah, we all look.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So we hear that, man, and I know Kellen is very educated us, on the side of American, Black American side, and just African American. Just it's crazy, it is tiring because we always have to bring it up, but it's a point where, at least on this show, we'll always talk about it because it's healthy, and people have to hear it. People have to listen to it and say there is a problem out there. Carlo, I mean, I know you're in Seattle, right? Near Tacoma,
Mhm.
Seattle. How is the attention up there? Because I know there's a lot of Asians up there in Seattle.
I mean, I'm watching the Filipino group on our Facebook following. There's a few people that are very aware. There's a couple, actually. There's a couple of I would call attacks in Chinatown. So a lot of people are very scared, sadly. So conversation I had today with my friends, we were like, maybe we should dress up like old people and kind of catch these dudes, group up and stick them in a van and then toss them somewhere type deal. But kind of throw them in jail or something. But no, it's scary now, because I think that last year at the very beginning of the pandemic, there was a big spike of hate crime against Asians, and being Filipino, we're a target too. So it's not like it's since we're a little bit more brown on the browner side, we there's no pass for us.
Yeah.
Of course, I thought you meant.
I get that. I get that a lot.
My bad. First time meeting, bro.
No, nobody can guess what I am sometimes.
Oh shit.
Sometimes I'm Puerto Rican, Cuban, Filipino, Mexican.
That's
Japan.
my husband.
Oh shit.
In Japan, people thought I was Chinese.
Yeah. Well, Filipinos, of course, we have that Spanish colonization of 300 plus years. So obviously when they picked up workers from South America, their hence was, Mexicans or native South Americans on that ship. And so they did some boom in the Philippines. And so we came out with some Spanish names. That's part Spanish and, of course, South American. So, yeah, we all kind of look alike. So in some way. And that's why Filipinos and Mexicans kind of get along.
I blend in depending where I live. When I live in Hawaii, I was a little bit darker. So people are asking me where I was from. I instantly got that Kamina discount.
Yeah, Kellen can pass for an Islander, man. Tongan or something. So tomorrow, little tomorrow, in there.
Just wear board shorts and flip flops. You'll be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't catch me rocking no flip flops.
Well, we're afraid to see your toes or what?
Casey can pass that Chucky.
It's faster what?
For a Chucky.
Chucky? Yeah.
What's a Chucky?
Yeah, they dark, bro. They dark Islanders and
my goodness.
down south from Guam. Hey, bro.
They're from Chuck.
Yeah, hey, bro. First we drink. I remember it's a real story. My friend said like they had a fight with the Truckies. So they're an island down south of Guam, and they're part of Micronesia, and so some of them live in Guam. So they don't want to fight. They like to drink. They're like the American Indians. They just like to drink all the time, but they're bad drunks. So like, hey, they're about to fight with my friends. They're like, wait, hey, bro, before we fight, let's drink.
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah, it is, man. So, but they ended up fighting. They're just laughing and everything. So,
like sometimes I can't distinguish.
They didn't fight. They were just they just started drinking
after the alcohol.
Yeah,
they're all.
Sometimes I can't distinguish the difference between Chucky and Samoan. Sometimes, like I can't tell the difference. Like the Tongans, I can't tell the difference.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like Chucky, Tongans, and Samoans. Like, man, I don't know which ones, man. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So they're big too. They're thick like the Chuckies are big.
Oh yeah. So they're like, well, they look sort of like you, taller, a little thicker and taller, maybe. And a lot of them are 6 foot. Some are just like 5'8", 5'9", just like a coconut tree. They're like just thick.
Yeah.
The women. So, but really sweet guys. The Samoan guys are always nice guys to me.
Oh yeah, nice guys, man. Nice guys.
They can just grab your whole neck and just throw you if you wanted to. Like, all right, guys. So, I want to review this movie. Remember Mortal Kombat?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I heard.
I saw that movie, man.
2021 comes out on HBO Max, April 16th. So I want you guys to watch this. It's the reboot, and this is the reboot that we've always wanted from Annihilation, and then what's the other movie? Mortal Kombat and Mortal Kombat Annihilation, which was okay, but wasn't the gory Mortal Kombat. But this time, they're
bringing it. They're bringing
it right. They got it right. So this is an inside reboot, fatalities and all gore, blood. Blood is all a part of it. So I want you guys to watch this real quick.
Oh, that is not Mortal
Kombat. Leslie about to break out some more Mortal Kombat.
Sub-Zero.
When we got there, it tore through our unit in seconds.
Yes.
The target has superhuman abilities.
Fatality. Good, can't wait.
It had the same marking you do, Cole.
It's a birthmark.
What do you mean?
He was born with it.
It's not a birthmark. It means you've been chosen.
Great
Throughout
casting
history,
too.
Different cultures all
Right,
over.
absolutely.
Reference a great tournament
Sonya.
of champions. A dragon
Is that
marking.
Viking girl?
I think it's an invitation to fight for something known.
Oh, okay.
Yup.
Okay, I will watch it.
April 16th.
I will watch it.
Red
That's
Sonja.
Kano.
Kano.
I'm Liu Kang.
Liu Kang.
Thanks, Jax.
Kung Lao.
Oh, wow.
The fate
Raiden.
of Earth is in our hands.
No matter how many of my people you put in the ground, we will not fail.
Melina was hot.
Kill them.
Yeah.
This part.
Scorpion.
Scorpion was my dude, man.
Get over it.
Right?
The fucking combo move right there.
Right? Oh man.
Okay,
More-
I can't wait. I can't wait to watch this.
You fucking beauty.
Fucking beauty.
Beauty. Oh man, I'm super excited, man. I've never been so excited about doing Mortal Kombat correctly, right? Blood
Yeah.
and gore. So they made it to a point. The director said that blood is part of this movie, so all the finishing moves, it's there, man.
It didn't make sense. Like that was like one of the most violent video games at the time when it came out, right? And then when they did the movie, they did this old PG-13 ass shit in the movie. It's like, how are you going to do a violent ass video game and then make the movie like less violent than the actual fucking game? That people were, it was banned in some places.
Yeah,
you know, there was some places that wouldn't sell Mortal Kombat at that time. It was crazy.
It's
Well,
the
this is
one
ra-
video game that I would play.
Yeah, rated R. Obviously, it's rated R because all the gore and stuff. So all the finishing moves, a lot of them are there.
Because it's on there.
Yeah, all the finishing moves are there. All the gore is there. The iconic get over here. It's all there, man. So,
bro, I never knew Jax lost his arms because of Sub-Zero, though.
No, that was they change it pretty much every game. In this movie, they changed it too.
Okay, so that wasn't always the original storyline.
No, not on this. Yeah, they changed it on the third time on this one.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a if you look on YouTube, there's a director's commentary basically breaking down the scenes on the trailer.
Oh shit!
Okay.
Bridget Wilson is Sonya. Is it? Hold on.
Sonya Blade is it's Jessica McNamee, some girl. I don't remember her. But of course, Sub-Zero and Scorpion is they're both Japanese actually.
So who was the older Asian dude that they were showing before they showed Scorpion and all that? He was in the village. He was like in this village or whatever.
Oh, that's a guy, the Japanese guy.
Yeah, who was that?
He is not rated. I thought
that's
He
Kano.
was rated. He couldn't
It was
be
Kano.
It's Kano.
Who?
Is he?
Or Hanzo or something like that. Scorpion, right?
Hold on.
No. There's Liu Kang, which he said, I'm Liu Kang.
Yeah, Liu Kang was younger though. I knew
Chin Han.
I don't remember him. What game was he on?
I don't know. Chin Han. He's like a cross between, Liu Kang. Not Liu Kang.
He's a new character.
No,
okay.
he
I was going to say, I didn't know.
No.
Okay.
No, he's Scorpion. Hanzo Hasashi.
Yeah, Hanzo Scorpion, but the main character that they're trying to present on the trailer, it's a new character. He's a new character they're introducing on this movie.
Yeah, Steve said, Kano was the New Zealander.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, it's gonna be awesome.
Even Goro, they try to stick with pretty much trying to make it more realistic in that the game.
That was dope.
Oh, okay.
Goro, I couldn't think of his fucking name. Yeah.
I like Sub-Zero though. I'm Sub-Zero.
Yeah.
Man, I'm a Raiden type guy, man. I normally kill it with that move, with a Superman move.
Yeah.
My
I was on
oldest son is
Scorpion.
named after Raiden.
Yeah. Well, look forward for that one. That's going to be a new prize, and hopefully that one hits the park, and then get more movies. I want to see Super Mario's done right. I don't know. Is that too corny? And Street Fighter. Can they do
Street Fighter? If they could do Street Fighter
correctly?
Yeah, correctly. Because Street Fighter that came out, that sucked ass.
Yeah, there was like one or two, right? Was it another with the girl? They had another movie with her. The one I played in Superman or Smallville.
Smallville.
Yeah. Okay. All right, guys. Last one here. Pod decks are unique interview questions and episode starting prompts in the palm of your hand. So whether you are a new podcaster or existing podcaster looking to grow your audience, get more engagement, or you want to go check out poddecks.com just to improve your pod decks interview skills and bring you more information. Use code HWY 54 for 10% off your first order, and the order's right there. All right. So today's topic is Relationships. I think this is always the most funnest one. I think we started this when Susanna was here. All right. The first question. How do you know when you love someone?
Start doing some dumb shit. Shit don't make sense anymore. You know what I mean?
Right.
Matching shirts.
Hit.
Yeah. Fuck. It is, man. Love is it's a weird thing, and it does make you do some goofy ass shit. You know, you sitting there like you send a motherfucking text, and you waiting for a response and shit. Like normally, you text somebody like whatever.
Yeah.
You know, fuck. You know, they message you when they get to you. Suddenly, you got them feelings. That shit's going. You like, man. You anticipating like, damn. You overthinking shit. Like, did I say too much? Did I say? You know, like. Then her response. She didn't have an emoji or an exclamation point. You tripping off that shit? As you can tell. What's that? Yeah. Oh.
K. Just K down. Like,
K seems like it's universally never good. Like that just seems like it is. I've never seen a situation where somebody put K and it was okay. Like actually.
Yeah. Unless it's done by a guy, because
yeah.
But if a girl says that, oh, you're in deep shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
when after you write like a whole paragraph or a whole fucking essay, and you're like, okay.
I'll be like, fucking bitch. I spent time reading, like writing and then correcting and paraphrasing, and you're gonna respond with a K.
Yeah, that motherfucker hits me with the K. I'm like, here's the fucking garbage.
Whoa! Shit. Man, you angry, bro? Yeah, who hurt you? Who hurt you?
You're just dropping that shit in the trash. I ain't got nothing else to say. Like this. Like this. Guess we're gonna be in a loveless relationship then. Fuck it.
All right. So we do little crazy things, things out of the norm, or we're so annoyed, or not annoyed.
You put up with things that
you wouldn't put up with other people.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Ignore red flags.
Do you think people should change themselves to find love?
If she's at 10, probably.
Really?
What?
If you're fine.
Would you stop DJing, Carlo?
Probably not. But change a little bit, I guess, depending on, I mean, I stopped smoking. That was one good change.
Right.
But that was basically it. I don't know. I mean, if I was younger, I'll be like, damn, if she's hot, like, sure, whatever she wants, right? But I mean, it's all temporary.
If you're making a change, it shouldn't be for love. It should be for yourself. Because if you're doing it for somebody else, inevitably, you're going to fall back into your same habits. You're going to do the same shit you've been doing because guess what? You didn't make that change for yourself. You made it for somebody else. And you're going to forget that sometimes. That's why
part of the argument too.
Yeah, man. That's why when you get into shit, like, don't put on a fucking facade. Don't start telling lies because guess what? You got to remember that shit. And when you forget that shit and your real character comes out, because inevitably it will, then you're fucked. So, no, I mean, you shouldn't make a change for love. Carlo brought up a good point saying he stopped smoking, but I'm sure that was just as much for yourself, right? As it was for the relationship.
Part of it. Yeah.
Part of it. Oh, shit. Yeah. Carlo, he was definitely in love. He's doing dumb shit.
No. Well, part of it, and then another part of it was like $10 a pack here coming from Japan, which was like 250 yen a pack.
Yeah.
It was probably the price of the cigarettes that made me quit too.
I think if it harms you as a person, as a character, or hurts the marriage, I think there's a compromise there. I mean, she changed a little bit, but when it comes to hobbies, I got hobbies or healthy hobbies, but if my hobby takes away from my relationship, then I got to scale back. So yeah, I would change.
So Rose comes to you and says, "All right, listen, I love you, Floyd. I want to be with you the rest of my life. No more. I just can't stand you doing the podcast. No more podcast for you."
We've had this conversation. Love you, Rose. Yeah.
He said,
Yeah.
What happened was.
what happened? Hey, this motherfucker.
I got chicken in the savings.
But
and saving the chicken to talk to each other.
He said, "I can ask
No.
y'all the question. Y'all can't ask me no question."
No. Put me in the hot seat here. No. We've had that conversation, but it was mostly because the root of the problem is just not giving time. And it seemed like I put the podcasts more importance to her. So love you. So we've communicated that.
Stephen said you thought about it way too long, bro.
Yeah, I gotta be careful what I say, man.
He's gonna watch
me.
I did not like that.
But, like you guys, everybody knows me. I do this. This is what I do. Whether I'm DJing, whether I'm MCing, whether I'm a podcast. I mean, that's my personality. That's my character. I've been DJing or radio disc jockey since I was like 19 years old. So that's a part of who I am. How can I change totally who I am?
Right.
But anyways,
the only way you make a change, the only change you should make is if you have like a toxic trait. Like if you grew up like an abusive home or some shit, right? And you grew up getting fucked up, and then you bring that into your relationship, and maybe you're not physically abusive, but you're verbally abusive. Obviously, those are changes you make. But if it's like it's your day to day, or your true character, and it's not a malicious human being, you got good intentions.
Yeah.
I'm not changing for love, bro. Like she gonna have to accept me or kick rocks. Find somebody.
That question goes on the later part of the relationship, though. You know what I'm saying? Because what happened is, people don't take the time to get to know each other. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they cannot be friends first for some reason. I don't know why. You know what I'm saying? So once they get into the later part of the relationship, it's like already too late. It's like, having the truth. When you're having the truth, what's the first thing you do? You give them a feedback, right? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Tell you the expectation, tell you how I am, how it works, we can do back and forth, yada, yada, yada. But relationship, the same thing. It's simple, man. You know what I'm saying? All of this is like a communication. Hey, so guess what? I like to wake up at night and just go to the bar. And she's going to say, well, that's going to take some getting used to. And I'm not really sure if I'm up to that. But then they totally ignore the fact that they just talked about it. And the old dudes still keep doing their own thing, and then she's still not about it. And then 2 years down the relationship, and then it's gotten to where I hate you. This is what you do. This is what you do. Is back and forth. So, well, you never changed for me. I'm like, well, we never talked about it. Yes, we did. So it's a whole bunch of back and forth. But if you don't lay out the rules and become friends first, because what happens when you were friends, right? You make changes for your friends. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing, right?
No.
Exactly. So whether you're going to be my friend or not, you know what I'm saying? Are you going to be my girlfriend or not? Are you going to be my boyfriend or not? But if it's not laid onto the table, you know what I mean? It's a whole different, you're just asking to fill your plan. That's all.
Bro, the longest relationship I've ever been, I was with a girl almost 10 years. We actually were engaged at one point in time. We were together a decade, and it was to your point, Casper. We were not friends first. We were just attracted to each other, met, boom, and just, grew together, right?
Yeah.
But I've had, since that, right? I've dated girls that I've had way deeper connections with than a person I was with for 10 years for the simple fact of I was friends with them. These are literally people I got to know. We were friends. And then, we dated. And it's crazy because the conversations we were having, I was like, I was with a girl for 10 years, and we didn't even talk like this. We didn't even have these type of conversations, and it's a trip. But it does. It goes right back to that, just being friends first.
Yeah.
Yes. Right on, Steve. I totally agree with that one. So, yeah, it is hard in the beginning, and when you get in, it's hard to be. A lot of us don't start off as friends, and it's more like, the lust and the boom boom and just being, being around each other, right? So it's crazy. All right. In a relationship, do you believe in joint or separate bank accounts?
Jeez.
El Separito. El Separito.
Gotta hide those premium subscriptions.
Yeah,
Man, that boy got that OnlyFans popping up. No, my parents.
No, go ahead. Go.
Abby. No, Abby, go.
Oh, I've always had a joint account with my husband. So he
but
knows
you guys
what
have other accounts.
Yeah, but other accounts.
Yeah.
Look. she
Hey!
paused for a minute.
No.
Abby.
Yeah.
She paused
We
for a
do.
minute.
We do, but he knows I don't hide my purchases from him, and he doesn't hide. Hey, get this dog. I'm sorry. My kids are like, she said hi.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So you have a secret account? You said? Or you have the Amazon account? What is it called?
No, I don't. He knows I have my own account, which is for my purchases. But he knows how much is in it, and he knows what goes in it.
I believe in joint accounts, but I think like if you're both working, it's good to have separate accounts because then it's your money, and But the one joint account is for bills and for savings, and then the other accounts like it's for stuff like buying DJ equipment or buying whatever stuff on Etsy and shit like that, or
Well, it's good to have separate accounts for some. If something goes, if it gets compromised, then you have a backup bank account.
Yeah,
absolutely. And if you're splitting bills, it's like, all right, who makes more money? If you want to do it like that, like, hey, this person makes more money, so maybe they pay 60% of this, and you pay the other 40. However, you want to divvy that up, and that's what I've never been married, so I can't speak on that. But I know in our household, growing up, my parents, they were together 22, 23 years. Money was never a fight with them. They had their separate accounts. My stepdad, he made a little more money than my mom, so he paid a little more, but they had a little system. And so money was never an issue. And I thought that was pretty dope. And that was a part of their relationship that I was like, I'm going to definitely incorporate that in my future relationships because I don't want to be beefing over money, and like I go to my friend's house and you'd hear them have like their parents having arguments, you know what I'm saying? I remember being a kid and they're fighting. I'm like, what the fuck are they fighting for? Oh, my mom spends a bunch of money on the credit card and shit like that. I'm like, oh shit, okay. Y'all got some other shit going on over here. I don't know nothing about that. But
it was $500 on Sensi? What the fuck?
I don't know. See, I'm what you call a trophy wife. I do not work. I am a stay-at-home mom.
Well, shit, I want your life.
Hey, I raised 6 kids, man. I am the person that holds down the fort when he deploys. So we've had conversations wherein I've told him, hey, should I go back to work? And he's like, for what? And I said, I don't know.
Damn.
I'm like, so we can have like extra money, traveling money.
Log off.
And he's like, I don't care.
Because he's on the log off.
Well, yeah. I mean, whatever works for your relationship, right? I don't know. Casper, what's your take, man?
Well, same thing. It goes back to the whole understanding first, because no matter whatever decision that the couple will decide on going, it still requires communication. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, so this is what we got to do. This is where we at right now. This is what I think we should do. What do you think? Bump off ideas, and then the other person will be like, I don't know. Or if you're like, you know what, that's a good idea, and then it's laid out. That way, there's no surprises. You know what I'm saying? That's this boils down to it.
And Abby, your situation is different though. With there is only the one income coming in, so that makes sense to have a joint account, right?
Yeah.
Like,
but when I had my own little side hustle, that side hustle money was kind of like
paying bills.
My money.
Your money.
Oh, she said. She said it went just to her, bro. She said it went just to her. That was her money.
Okay.
No.
I'm sure he knows that.
So I spent my money. I spent the money that I made when I did my side hustle thing. I spent it on the family. I took the family out to eat out. We went and when I went shopping, I shopped for everybody. So it was like it was play money. That's what it is. Whatever money
it's not in the books.
It would be play money.
And
whatever money he makes, it's what we pay the bills with. But then see, we have a budget, and I live with a budget. So I know what I can spend, what I can't spend, and we put away money for rainy days. So
emergency funds, yeah.
Yeah, so like for a long time, we didn't own a credit card. We didn't have like outstanding bills. All our
Right.
cars were paid off. The thing we only paid off was our rent, But now
Right.
we're homeowners and shit.
Yep.
You know what's tough
I
for
haven't.
the low income folks? Like they can't even understand what you're talking about right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like
Right.
I know.
like you like that's fortunate that you got all of that stuff, man. But there's people out there that, man, all they rely on is EBT. They don't even have a basic account. You know what I'm saying? Like they can't even
Yep.
establish that, because in order for you to have a checking account, you gotta have a continuous money going in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Why we?
People don't have that. Like EBT is like the only thing that we, you know what I'm saying, where everything is, it's changed the game now. It's not, you can get EBT off of an app now on the phone, because everybody has a phone now. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So they just
Yeah.
scan those things. So like with those
No,
kind
not.
of guys, it's different. I mean,
All right. So here's the next question here. How can you get out of a toxic relationship?
Dude, just leave.
Ooh.
Leave.
take her to a public place and break up with her.
Yeah. The
You're
best
not gonna
way.
do it on the phone.
Like
You're not gonna do-
like a football game or something.
You're not gonna text her.
That could go left though. Also, you fuck around.
I'll be
Fuck around, you be on a fucking viral video getting your ass whooped.
Whoops.
Everybody be like, damn,
Carlo.
Carlo, what that you getting your ass whooped at that football game? What happened, bro? I broke up with her. Now she's doing 2 years for fucking assault. That might actually, that's a good idea, Carlo.
Can't do it at restaurants too public though, especially with people on their phones. Just loud.
some don't give a damn, man. We could be in an arena somewhere. I'll make a scene up in this joint. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Steve, 10,000 pages, someone will keep her mouth shut.
yeah.
No, a toxic relationship, I mean, obviously it's easier said than done because people stay in them forever, but you, at some point in time, you have to figure out, like, what's your line? Like, all right, how far, like, what is too much, right? It's already toxic, it's already bad, but you have to say, all right, if I have to tell them one more time about this, that they can't do this, or I won't put up with this, and then they do it, you have to stick with it. You know, you can't keep pushing the goal line back further and further each time. Like, you know, the next time, you sending me, you cussing me out, acting like this or whatever about whatever, name whatever toxic thing sets them off, whether they're jealous or insecure or whatever the case may be, you have to say, the next time is the last time for yourself. You don't necessarily have to tell them that, but you have to tell yourself, this next time is the last time. And when that time occurs, you go and don't look back. You can't do the, oh, am I making the right decision or not? The shit's toxic. It's not good for you or them. You got to get the fuck out of it. Period.
I agree with Casey. And the thing is, a lot of times too, we forget, how we say, you can't throw rocks if you live in a glass house, right? So
facts.
And one thing to get out of a toxic relationship is to talk about yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's more like, hey, look, man, I really ain't got it. This is me. I'm doing all the bad things. You deserve better. You know what I'm saying? And
It's not me.
Hit him with the old. No, he said, hit him with the old. It's not you, it's me.
This joint account's not working out.
but it'll put a light into something that's dark. You know what I'm saying? Because she will realize, or he would realize, like, you know what, you're right. I'm the same way. I don't know. Who knows? It might fix the problem. It might not. But I think you gotta look yourself in the mirror, man. Like, look, I'm adding. I'm contributing to this, and this is the stuff that I gotta do. So I'm out. Easier said than done, but you know what I'm saying. But you gotta say it.
Yeah. All right, next question here. Just say yes or no, because we can go a long tangent on this. How important is sex to you?
We mean yes or no.
Oh, yes, no. Important.
Yes.
Important or not important?
Do you sex? Yes.
Wait, we're talking about male or female, or we're talking about
how important is sex to you in a relationship? Important or not important?
Very. Very important.
There are some sexual people out there that's all they live for that, man. know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mhm.
There's also non-sexual people out there that will say, yeah, as long as we communicate, because you'd be surprised, man. There's people out there that are.
How about a
Are not.
0 out of 10? 0 out of 10.
There you go. Give it a rating. How important is it?
10 is more important. I would say 8.
8.
Depends on my week. I mean, if my back hurts,
You just stay on your back, bro.
yeah, my hold up this week. This week's gonna be a furry.
Carlos said, I need to fuck this sex. I'm gonna go meditate, bro. I can't handle it right now.
Maybe next week be 10.
Let me get this back right.
Like,
Nah,
hold up.
I'd say. Go ahead.
But no, I mean, in all seriousness, yeah, it's it builds a connection once in a while, right? Kind of light that flame.
Yeah. So what's
Take out those crystals and light up some candles.
Hell yeah.
Play some Janae Aiko.
So what's your rate? 0 to 10.
Hey, there you go.
Just say it. Just say 0 to 10.
I would go for an 8 because I don't focus on that too much.
Y'all are a bunch of fucking liars. Liars.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie. Fuck, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's a 10. It's a 10, baby. So I mean, and here's the thing, and I say that in that for me, I'm a very and most men are gonna say that like touch is part of their love language, right? Like we like touch, but for real, whenever I'm getting that, like we can be in a really bad fight, but man, we could do that, and you know what I'm saying? It's like I'm literally like I'm gonna be thinking about this shit. I'm like, you know what? I was wrong. I was dead wrong. You know what I'm saying? And not in a fake ass manner, but like legitimately, like I don't know. Sometimes that maybe it's too much testosterone, too much energy. You know, you get that release, and all of a sudden you're like, fuck, I need to do better.
He comes out with his brand new lingerie. Like, you know what, baby? You're right.
Sex
I agree.
I am very wrong.
There's also that sex. So there's also that time. Like I know when I'm not invested in a relationship anymore because I've had it to where it was at the end of a relationship and we had sex, and literally in my head I was like, I don't ever want to do that again. Like I was checked out, you know, and that's big, you know, to get to that point when you're with the person you've been with them for a while, and all of a sudden you're like, I didn't even enjoy that. Like I don't want to do that anymore. Like I don't want to connect with that person on this level anymore. I don't know. So it's
Casper's
a 10
over there. Casper's over there being quiet.
Casper?
He's like,
Casper's like 9.5.
Nah. I would say 10 as well. Yeah, I'm a very human person.
right.
So yes, I go with that.
Abby?
See?
Oh, yours 10.
oh,
right?
you're already. You guys already know. It's a 10. 10.
All
And
right.
I'm here trying to be a saint. Like,
Yeah, Carlos, 7.5.
Let's see. No,
Okay.
seriously.
Have you ever
sex-
been in love with somebody that was bad sex? Have you been in a
yes,
relationship or loved somebody, like you love somebody, but the sex was like the bad part of your relationship?
You're asking everybody, right?
I'm asking everybody. This is open.
Not really. No.
It's the connection.
Look at Abby. Look at Abby. Abby said it.
I guess maybe in
real quick.
Abby said she's good.
I guess maybe in high school when everybody's first time, like, are we doing this right?
No, I have.
We was doing it right, high school.
Right.
Is this the right hole? Or something?
You must be talking about grade school.
Is that the right hole?
Like, is this good for you?
No, I've been in a relationship and the sex wasn't great, but I think over time, like you can make it better. Like, you know, I think a lot of times people can be just a little uncomfortable or don't know how to explore or let that freak flag fly. You know, you kind of help them get to that point.
go to the adult store for a couple times and bring a couple.
I mean, if you're together for a long time, of course, you always want to spark the fire. So having the same missionary or whatever, it's normal. It's not always where it works out. So you need to get excited, especially when you get older. You need to, spruce up the bedroom, play. So foreplay is I think foreplay is very important.
You think?
Yeah, it is. Well, I mean, if you're like Carlo, you're like, hey, man, my blood back. So
I don't care.
Yeah. Let me bust out my back brace really quick.
All right. All right. Next question here. What do you think is a secret to a long, mostly happy relationship or marriage?
Joint account.
What she paid.
I'll wait for
happy
everybody's answer.
secret to a long, mostly happy marriage. I believe in laughter. My humor is sarcastically, off sometimes. And if she laughs at the stuff that I laugh, then that's very important to me because my humor is weird sometimes.
What is those 2 words, Floyd? Yes, dear.
Yes. Oh, yes. And know when to shut the fuck up. So I know how to shut the fuck up.
Yes, dear.
Like,
yes, babe.
When that time of the month or something like that, I need to shut the fuck up,
I guess the more modern version will be like, hell yeah.
Yeah, dude. Like, why are you so quiet, Floyd? Because I know if I say some shit, you'll never forgive me. You'll fucking allocate that shit in the file 20 years from now. Remember that day when you said that shit, like motherfucker, Friday, February 14th. Like, oh fuck. So I tend to happy relationships, know when to shut the fuck up. At least for guys. I don't know for girls.
Wait, what was the question again? You got got off topic.
What is the secret to a long, mostly happy relationship or marriage?
Relationship.
I don't want to sound corny and cliche, but obviously communication. And I think it's something. I mean, it's really all it is, and it's so simple, but it's the most difficult part. And it's easy to be communicate. Like you communicate well in the beginning, right? And then we get comfortable, and we think, oh, I don't have to explain to them or tell them all this shit because we've already had this conversation in the past. But you don't realize, kind of like what we've been talking about with racism and everything else in this country, we have to continue those conversations. You know what I'm saying? Like it can't just stop because you had it one time. It has to continue, and you have to practice it regularly. And I don't think a lot of people do that because it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of energy sometimes, and it can be draining, but it doesn't have to be.
Sexy.
I'm the same way with Casey, man. Communication is tough, man. I know I say all the time, like, hey, but I can't throw a rock or live in the glass. I mean, and nobody really likes to hear that crap, but it is what it is. That's what makes it tough.
We might get in trouble. Carlo, did you say? What was that?
Sexy lingerie. both sides.
Both sides? Yeah.
Throw on some assless chaps. What the fuck you wearing, Carlo?
Elephant pants.
Red velvet jacket, okay? He's going to wear the red velvet jacket.
I know, right?
Right, Simon?
All right.
There you go.
Next episode.
All right. All right, go. This might get us in trouble. Hopefully everybody's honest with this question here. Do you believe you can be friends with someone you loved in the past?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Not all of them.
Fuck no. No, fuck no. Fuck no. But with those one, like, again, Casper talking about the being friends first. Sometimes you have those ones where you were good friends with them. You try a relationship. It didn't work out. But you still like, damn, like they were a good friend, and we tried the relationship thing. But yeah, and Steve right there saying depends on the individual. It absolutely depends on the individual because not everybody's going to be able to handle that. And when you guys both start dating other people, You know, at some point in time, does it become disrespectful to your relationship? You know, you have to think about those things. You know, is your friendship with this person that important that it's worth potentially jeopardizing your relationship, or vice versa? You know, or just understanding the dynamics of that relationship and knowing you guys won't cross that line if that comes about. Because in the back, I know as a man, in the back of our head, and most dudes are gonna lie about this, but like once you've been there with a person, in the back of your mind, when you see that person, you always think, I could probably, we could probably hook up again. I mean, for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be real. Let's be real. You think about that shit. Now, obviously, fuck, I'm gonna get myself.
Give her that eye. You give her that eye. Remember that time?
No, man. It's just, dude, relationships are a motherfucker. They're a motherfucker.
No, I think it really depends on who the person is. Like, if my husband told me that he didn't feel comfortable with my friendship with a certain person, I would really think about it. I would honor his request, I guess, because my relationship with my husband is more important than my friendship. I mean, sorry to say that, but I live with him. I have children with him. I have a life with him. And, weighing the scales, he's always going to be more. Does that make me a bad person? I don't think so, because we have to have priorities. Who are your priorities? Your priority is your family. Your priority is your husband or your spouse, or your partner. They should be your priority. And if they aren't, then you got to have a come to Jesus moment with yourself, because then maybe you're not with the right person.
Yeah, I don't have any contact with my exes, so maybe one or two, but.
Hold on. He said, I don't have any contact with my exes.
Maybe 1 or 2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2 dozen.
That's you're talking about decades now, so this is not like it was years ago and shit. So, and then my previous, it's just no contact at all. So whatever, only for paperwork stuff. All right, last question here, because it's been a really good conversation. So this is kind of a good segue to the end here. How do you know your relationship is over? Wow, that's heavy there.
When you run out of money on a joint account,
right?
Be like straight up divorce right there. I don't know. I don't have a serious answer, so you guys can go ahead.
When you're mentally checked out.
I guess if you haven't talked and called each other for like 2 weeks, 2 weeks good, or 1 month?
What? Is it you talking about a long distance relationship, Carl?
Or just in general?
After a few days, you'd be like, "What the fuck's happening here?"
I guess you don't want it no more.
I think when you stop respecting it, when the respect is gone, and you know that feeling when it feels like they don't respect you anymore, or you don't respect them. When that's gone, that's tough right there. I mean, it's tough to get back to that good place, like legitimately. I don't know either which way, whether you've been the person that's feeling disrespected or not respected, or you the person not respecting that hurt person. When that respect is gone, bro, that's tough. You can be mad at somebody, you can be upset with them, you can be a lot of things, but when you don't respect them anymore, oof, that's a done deal.
Yeah, that's hard to get back.
And you know,
I think at least for me, respect is everything. So when you're disrespecting each other or disrespecting the family, or you show disrespect because of your antics in front of the public or whatever it is, I think the relationship is either gonna end or it's done. Now there's no respect for each other, and you lost respect with your family and your community. So it's really hard to get back from that. So at that point, it's like you gotta make a choice. Do we continue with this, or it's the end? So, and some people, it's like night and day, and some people like a week or two. Some people it takes years. Because, a lot, like you said, like Kellen was together with someone for 10 years, and so it's hard to let go of what you're used to, right? But But yeah, it's not worth it. Time goes by really fast if you're or slow. I'm sorry, if you're in a bad relationship and you just disrespecting each other all the time, and your family gets wind of it too. So I'm all about respect with the family and respect for our relationship. That's why I stopped like posting shit on my Facebook. Like how it is when you fight this motherfucker and mem and shit. Like I don't do that no more. I maybe have done that before in the early past of Facebook.
Oh,
But
he's blasting
yeah,
motherfuckers on Facebook.
getting that like and shit, but I don't do that now.
Oh shit!
Damn.
But anyway,
No,
that's when you know like it's about to end. It's about time to call it quits. So
yeah, the majority of the relationships that I've ever had, like I've dated some good people, just legitimately, and that's not even kissing no ass, like just good humans. But there one relationship like that I had, and it was and I say this is because it was the first example for me to say I knew like I had no respect for this person, but she would get drunk, and when she got drunk, bruh, she would be volatile. She talked reckless, try to start shit with people, and then sometimes it'd pour over me. We took a vacation somewhere. We was on vacation. I slept on the balcony in the rain 2 different nights because of like we're on vacation. We're in a tropical location, just out there supposed to be living our life, and I was like, man, I'm sitting there on this balcony. It's raining on my ass, and I'm being stubborn. I'm like, I'm not going back in there with her because she's tripping. And yeah, I knew. Like as soon as I got back, I was like, I knew it was done. And that for me and old me, I would have let something like linger a little bit longer because I've been like, I need to give it more. I need to give it more. But then, as I've gotten older and after that 10-year relationship, I was like, I'm not gonna let shit linger. This person clearly doesn't respect me because the way she acts, and I've lost all respect for her, so I need to let it go. And then she was like, what? It was just a fight. Like, she thought it was supposed to be cool. It's like, no, you crossed that line that we talked about. So
fucking Carlos.
That boy wild. What's Simon about? Why Simon?
Simon.
You haven't been checking his Facebook page? Man, he's been posting, the guy from Bridgerton.
The Duke?
Yeah, the Duke.
Uh-huh.
You know how he said, do I look like him? Or should I buy this jacket?
Right. Oh.
So it's like a running joke with him that he looks like the actor.
So
I have not watched that movie yet. So
at first it was like,
and he hasn't watched it. That's the thing.
I haven't watched it, but people were like, "Hey, you look like this guy." I'm like, "Who?" Oh, the guy Bridgerton. I'm like, "What's that show?" I don't know. Then I saw pictures, and then he was on SNL. Then somebody told me his name's Simon. It's like, you Simon.
Oh, his real name is Simon.
Yeah, I've never seen
his character's name is Simon.
I don't ever remember them saying his name. I just remember calling him the Duke.
Yeah,
his name is Simon.
You watched that, Casper? Bridgerton? You watching that?
I watched. I finished it.
Talking about it. I'm trying to avoid it right now.
Well, I did. Here's Carlo.
Good.
I did show your picture to my daughter, and I said, "Does he look like the dude from Bridgerton?" And my daughter's like, "Oh, I can see it, Mom." So,
Thank you.
She's 14, so there you go. Your Gen Z has agreed.
I'll start a little Facebook group.
I wouldn't take it.
Start selling merch.
Wait, is he
All right, Casper.
Is he Mexican?
When do you know it's over, man?
Yeah, I think this respect thing and the way they communicate is no longer there. So Mitch, because people don't like change, you know what I'm saying? They don't want to let go. So
being a Mitch,
that's the tough part. You know what I mean? So when they are thinking about in the middle of this whole transition, that's what makes it hard. But I can only speak for a lot some of the cats I see in the club because I see it all the time. Like I would spend one weekend they'll together, and then they'll be happy the next couple of weeks, right? And then the following week, it came back to me. It's like, hey, man, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like it was over for them because I'm in the club scene, so I see this all the time. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
And for them, I think it's because of the place that they met. To me, you know what I mean? To me, I don't know about everybody else, but they didn't establish that rapport from the beginning. So it's
They
I
weren't
see it
friends.
coming all the time. Yeah.
So basically, they weren't friends at first. It's all about lust at
Nah.
first.
Yeah,
they
because
took
he's in
a
the
break to
club,
the
man.
boom
He's
boom
eating
room.
liquor. So.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Figured.
Get that sleaze.
All right. Guys, that's Pod Decks, guys. Highway 54 here on a Sunday. Always live here, 6 to 8. We have different people. We want to welcome back Casper. He's come in and out. Hopefully he'll return with us. Thanks for the updates on Texas. Kelly in the house. KC out there in Oregon. Simon. Always fun to have Simon.
How y'all doing?
And of course, Abby out there in Florida. It's been a great fun, guys. I want to thank a lot of our commenters here. Steven, he's been on the ball, man. Kayla, who else we have out here? Ashley,
Melody.
Melanie, Stephanie. Thank you guys for tuning in. Yeah. Again, prayers out to Texas and the people out there. Susanna, we love you, man, and we hope to see you again. And thank you guys for coming out and spending some time with Highway 54. Ladies and gentlemen, have a great Sunday. Happy February. See you guys next Sunday.
Good night.
Later.